So now we go into our our penultimate senior Rotax heat. Heat 5, groups A and D. Let's have a look at the starting order. Callum Bradshaw will lead the field away from pole position ahead of Nick Coppens from Belgium. Then it's Luca Lystra and Mark Kimber, row 2. Tobias Poschek from Austria in the 355 starts 5th. Alongside will be countryman David Lackner, also from Austria in the 351. Row 4 is the 362 of Germany's Luca Köster and the 379 of Hungary's Sombor Kovac. Erhard Turker from Turkey in the 347 and Christian de Klein in the 399 representing the Netherlands. They complete the top 10. Rounding out the 15-strong starting grid will be Flint Schuring in the 316 from the Netherlands, Sweden's Felix Jansson in the 385, Lukas Hartmann in the 306 from Germany, Switzerland's Sascha Klavedetscher in the 307, and Denmark's Christopher Zaxer in the 367 at the back end of the field. After this, we'll have our 6th and final senior Rotax heat before we have 3 more races after that to conclude the day's action here in Eastern Germany as Bradshaw and Coppens now get themselves ready. So the 2 on the front row will have to control the pace. Ten minutes on the clock. Callum Bradshaw and Nick Coppens are on the front row. Into the tram lines we go. The lights are on the starting gantry. Revs rise. Lights are out. We're off and racing. And a good start by Bradshaw. Coppens gets into the slipstream into T2, but then is that Lystra trying to go around the outside of Bradshaw? If he has, well, he nearly made it work, but he was clashing a few sidewalls at the same time. Christian de Klein looking to make his way up the order as they go into turn 4, but Bradshaw leads ahead of Lystra. Coppens, well, no, it's actually Kimber that managed to get through. It's Mark Kimber, my apologies there, because I got confused between the colour of his and also the race helmet of Luca Lystra. So Kimber now makes it a British 1-2. Coppens in 3rd. Lystra 4th. And there's a little bit of contretemps. Oh, we've had a spin. David Lackner and Erhard Turker off at the same part on the circuit. So something has really caught them out right there. And that would be more than likely standing water unless one cart has leaked fluid onto the circuit. But Bradshaw leads from Kimber. Yeah, it was a touch between the pair of them. The slightest of glancing blows. And all of a sudden they spun off in synchronicity and possibly sympathy as well. But now things are getting closer between the top 3. Between Bradshaw, Kimber and Luca Lystra. The gap was just a fraction over a second after the first lap. 8.5 minutes to go, plus 1 additional lap to conclude these drivers' 3 heats. And for some, it's been a bit more rosy than others. As Kimber goes for the lead and gets it from Bradshaw, but Bradshaw now counter-attacks through the very next corner, gets the momentum down, and here comes Luca Lystra. And I think Kimber did the wise thing there. He just decided to keep the gap open and allow Lystra to get up the inside, because when you get in front of Luca Lystra, you have to be wary of how quickly he closes in on you, especially with the pace that young Belgian has, who recently celebrated a birthday. So the gap between Bradshaw and Leicester now runs at about 0.4 of a second. Kimber in third, Kuppens fourth, Tobias Poschek rounds out the top five. Zsombor Kovac has tumbled all the way down to 12th position, just fractionally ahead of Sasha Klavedecha. Biggest gap between certain drivers on the field would be David Lackner and Ehad Turka. Well, I'm not too sure if they've gotten going again, because that looks rather ominous. Well, David Lackner's crossed the line, so has Ehad Turka. So those that lap where they both I don't think they really sort of touched. I think it was just the wet weather caught them out, and they, you put the power down late, early, coming out of that corner, you can spin it around, and it happened to both Lackner and Turka at that point. Bradshaw looking to secure a heat win here today. Is ahead of Leicester. Leicester being chased down by Kimber, who just puts in the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 4.468 for the Brits. So top three covered by just under 0.9 of a second. Kuppens is about 1.9 seconds adrift down in fourth. Tobias Poschek rounds out the top five, and it looks like, yep, Lackner and Turka might be, I'm not too sure if they're going to be coming in. I'll find out very, very soon indeed. Zsombor Kovac might have gotten into the pits. No, Lackner's crossed the line. But at the moment, Callum Bradshaw still leads the way. There is Leicester. They're both dropping Mark Kimber. Into the final couple of corners we go. 5 minutes and 50 seconds, plus an additional lap to go. Bradshaw leads them on to complete lap number 4, and on to lap 5 we go. Luca Leicester was 0.55 behind. He's now 0.6 behind Bradshaw. Kimber in third. Kuppens fourth. Poschek ahead of Decline going into turns 1 and 2. Decline looking to send it up the inside, and nearly clashes. And here comes Luca Köster. Uses great pace and momentum to read the situation and react accordingly. So Luca Köster was looking up the inside of Christian Decline into the left-hander at turn 4. But the young Dutch driver not able to let him, not giving him room to get past, but he does. On that particular occasion, up the inside goes Luca Köster. That's a nice move there for what is now going to be 5th place on the road. As Poschek goes sideways and clashes into the side. He just does the old sorry gesture to Christian Decline, who bumps the... now that's not very sporting there. And Decline sends it up the inside of Poschek. That's going to allow Lukas Hartmann to go through. Zsombor Kovac has parked the cart in the pits. Things do get heated when the adrenaline is flowing full bore, like we saw just then. Flint Schuring looking to close in on Lukas Hartmann, but can't get through on the inside of turn number 2. 4 minutes and 10 seconds still remaining, plus an additional lap. And if I'm completely honest here, ladies and gentlemen, the unpredictability of what's happened in this race so far could further be exacerbated. It could further be intensified. As there is Flint Schuring. That's off the track for Lukas Hartmann. And he just gathers it together, and he's now going to lose out another position. That's to Felix Jansson from Sweden. Hartmann gets back up the inside through into the chicane. But Flint Schuring had an opportunity and a manoeuvre there, and he took full advantage of it. Christian Decline and Tobias Poschek currently still at loggerheads as they come out of the final corner. Luca Köster has dropped them considerably, to the tune now of 2.6 seconds. Because between, Decline on lap number 4 did a 1 minute 7.8. Poschek 1 minute 8.0 second lap time. And Luca Köster did a 1 minute 5.5 and then a 1 minute 5.2. Leicester is the fastest one out there, 1 minute 4.244 from the Belgian. As there is the 3.55 of Tobias Poschek now, who's coming into, he's being closed in on. by Flint Shearing. Callum Bradshaw still doing what he needs to do at the front of the field, leading the way. Ahead of Luka Lystra. Zsombor Kovac, unfortunately, retiring on lap number 4. As with 2.5 minutes to go, Bradshaw brings them on to lap number 8 of this race and continues pushing forwards with just simple purpose. Keep your head down, keep the blinkers on, and just keep pushing forward. Don't get crossed up at all. It's probably one of the many things that he'll be thinking in that behind that race visor of his. He's just got to keep it nice, calm, and collected. Don't go sideways like Lystra did just there. Going through the turn 5-6 chicane into 7, 8, into 9, and into the right, the double right here at 10 and 11. Bradshaw's just picking his spots because he knows that he hasn't got anyone to contend with up front, apart from Lystra, who was 1.2 seconds behind him on the completion of lap number 7. We're on lap number 8 at the minute. So really pick up speed going into the final right-hander. Bradshaw has a lead of 1.235 seconds, so Lystra pretty much the same on pace. Things have pretty much petered out a little bit, apart from looking at the battle between 8th and 9th, Tobias Poschik and Lukas Hartmann. They were covered by just over 1/10 of a second in the side-by-side. Oh my goodness. Hartmann could have had an opportunity going through into turn 4, but what that has allowed for the two behind. You've got Sasha Klavadetscha, who's got past Christopher Zaxter as there goes Lukas Hartmann up the inside of Tobias Poschik to take the position away and has got the job done. And then here comes the 367. That's Christopher Zaxter. Gets in. There's a little bit of an assist from behind there, courtesy of Tobias Poschik. And now here comes Felix Jansson. Jansson's right in the ringside seat. Doesn't want to be too close for comfort there. And nearly has a moment coming through as Poschik was trying to go round towards the outside of the corner. But Christopher Zaxter keeps ahead. And now we are on to the penultimate lap of the race. Lap number 10 out of 11. And at the minute, Callum Bradshaw still leads. He's extended the gap to Luka Lystra by just over a fraction of a tenth of a second. Mark Kimber rounds out the top 3 as we await for the last couple of drivers to come across the line. David Lackner followed by Ehad Turka. So 14 out of 15 drivers still racing. And unfortunately, Zsombor Kovac's day has come to an abrupt end as there goes Tobias Poschik up the inside of Christopher Zaxter. He had to wrestle with that kart. I'm not too sure if there might be a few marks on the side pod as there goes Felix Jansson. Here comes Sasha Klavadetscha. This is going to get tight between these three. And that is for what is effectively right at the bottom end of the field. That's how competitive these drivers are. You can't put it past them. 2 from Dan Holland Racing, 1 from Dams Racing. But we're on to the final lap of this race. And effectively, Callum Bradshaw has left no stone unturned. He has stayed ahead of everybody else. There's David Lackner in the 351 and Ehad Turka in the 347. But there is Callum Bradshaw. He's kept ahead of Luka Lystra all the way through this race, and even had to fend off the advances of one Mark Kimber. But it's going to be a good way to have a bit of respite this evening as Bradshaw, out of the final corner, takes the checkered flag, wins Heat 5. Luka Lystra in second, and Mark Kimber rounds out the top 3. Bradshaw's winning margin 1.458 seconds at the end of it. Nick Cuppins a steady 4th place. Good work by Luca Custard to take 5th in the 362. Christian de Klein in 6th place after that one. Also, the 347 at Ehad Turka actually got a penalty for pushing, so that would be the incident earlier. But there is your race winner, Callum Bradshaw from Great Britain. Let's have a look at the rest of the results. So Bradshaw wins it by just under 1.5 seconds ahead of Luca Lystra. Mark Kimber takes P3 ahead of Nick Coppens. Luca Costa, Christian Lecline, Flint Shearing rounds out the top 7. Lukas Hartmann, Tobias Poschek and Christopher Zaxa embroiled in their own battles, with Sasha Klaverdetscher and Felix Jansson also getting themselves well and truly stuck in. David Lackner and Ehad Turka rounded out the 14 that finished all 11 laps, with Zombor Kovac retiring on lap number 4.